Hi there, time for our ramshackle rambling video once again for this week. Even more ramshackle than usual because we are planning to do our special this week on revenge movies. Now, Tyler has picked Death Sentence, the James Wan film, I believe written by Lee Winnell, another one, starring Kevin Bacon, and it's a riotous rampage of revenge. Dave has gone for Ms. 45, Able for Our film that I have not yet seen, and Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, which I've seen once and is a bit of a harrowing watch. So that will be an interesting one to revisit. And I have taken a different tact and gone for the Dolly Parton starring 9 to 5. It's about revenge, so it counts. I fancied something a bit lighter. I knew that Tyler would bring the grim, which he did. And, we try and mix it up a bit. Variety is the spice of life. But other than that and what we have planned for the podcast, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but recently, especially over the past few days, things have been a bit rubbish. There are more protests going on about important issues around the world. There are silly protests going on from people who don't understand why measures are being put in place to try and stop a really horrible virus that should have been stopped a long time ago if people had any common sense. There's a certain trial verdict in America that's just ridiculous, and was sadly expected by many people. Then you've got the upcoming stress of Christmas, the cost of living's gone up, everything's gone up apart from wages, really. If you're working, I guarantee most of you haven't had any large pay rise in the past few weeks. Oh, there's one coming on our planned wage increases, but while the cost of living goes up, the wage stays there for a while and eventually pops up there and eventually pops up there. Meanwhile, cost of living's up there. So, I digress. It is the time of year where I think people need to just not worry about what they want to watch. I'm still doing my film noirs for November, but I've also already started watching some Christmas movies on Netflix, on the Christmas movie channels. They are comforting. I do like a hot chocolate, even though I'm supposed to be watching my calorie intake. It's nice. It's escapism. It's there for a reason. They're designed that way for a reason. And if you want to do that, I go along with all the jokes and memes already about not having anything to do with Christmas before Halloween, November being too early. I will act very grumpy and grinchy at times, but I love it, really. So I'm quite happy to be watching these films. But you know what? I might have days where I want to just rewatch Jaws again for the 100th time, and that's great as well. I might want to watch some Carry On movies. I might want to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre if my mind wants some really grimy horror. The point is, find your comfort where you can. If you need a bit of escapism, then go for your favourite or go for the Christmas movies. Again, one of my favourite movies, and I know it really depends on what you think of the star, but it's Groundhog Day again. And ironically, I could probably watch that on repeat quite a lot. I might do. I'm looking forward to seeing the new Ghostbusters movie. I've heard from a lot of people that it's full of what they call member berries. I think it's just teeming with nostalgia at points. But really, sometimes that's what you want. Sometimes you'll appreciate a film more for that, whereas other times you might resent the fact that that's all you seem to be getting in the film and it's packaged that way. But especially at the moment, I'm just really kind of battling the urge to be cynical and pessimistic with a bit of a renewed sense of optimism and a kind of entitlement to find my pleasure wherever I can get it, even if that's sitting on a Sunday afternoon and watching Force 10 from Navarone, which is a film I've not yet watched. I just spotted the disc there and thinking, yeah, I could settle down with that. I'm hoping to get to the cinema though at some point to watch Last Night in Soho, the new Edgar Wright film. So hopefully if I do get to that, I'll be able to mention it in the podcast coming up next week, where we will then be moving on to discuss all manner of revenge films. So that's it. Yeah, there was no plan for this. It's got to be a short one again. It is just a reminder, you know, I've discussed various things before about don't let people judge you by the movies you watch or what you own, what have you. But also, you know, don't worry about anybody having a strong opinion on what you're choosing to watch to give you a little 90-minute tour escape from the day, from the world that is getting messier and messier around us, whether that is your favourite film that you watch every weekend, or if, like me, you've already started on some of the Christmas movies. Love Hard is a good one on Netflix, by the way. I really quite enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. It's no classic of cinema, but these Christmas films really are. So I don't know what the next Christmas viewing will be, but I think it'll happen before the end of today because it's cold and raining outside and I know there's hot chocolate in the cupboard. Take care.